Have you ever asked yourself the question of where do people get the time to be able to go to the gym, go and exercise, go to work, attend to family, responsibilities, all of these different things, and how they get the time to be able to balance everything and still be able to reach the health and fitness goals? Welcome back everyone to Fierce Potential, and this week we are going to target one of the most important questions that I always get is like, how do I fit exercise into my busy lifestyle without sacrificing time with my family or having to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning to be able to go to the gym? I'm going to share a little bit more about my health and fitness journey and my story to show you guys that it is possible to integrate your health and fitness goals, the gym sessions, the workouts, everything into a very busy schedule and without sacrificing time with your family or having to wake up at 4 a.m. on all of these different things, and show you guys that it's possible. So over a decade now, I have been on my own health and fitness journey. And throughout this time, I've encountered various different situations that required me to be able to balance my programs and make sure that I don't burn out, to make sure that I still get the results and invest within myself with my health and fitness goals, but also being able to show up for my responsibilities. So this included that for 5.5 years and plus starting now another 1.5 years of full-time studying for my qualifications. And throughout the time, it's around 40 hours a week that I have to spend studying. On top of that, I have been working full-time. At one point I was working 3 jobs and I had to show up for my family. So throughout this particular time, I needed to ensure and figure out how to be able to integrate my workout and invest in myself so that I can get the health and fitness goals that I desire, but without a way of actually burning out. So how do we do this? This is all about this video. Within this video, we're going to discuss the main strategy that we have, but there's 4 very specific criteria that we need to understand to be able to integrate it effectively so that we can have the best results. So what is this? So this is lifestyle integration. So first off is that we need to ask ourselves a couple of questions. We need to understand ourselves a little bit more. First off, we need to ask ourselves who, what, when, where, why. Those are the 5 questions that we need to be able to ask ourselves. And once we understand these 5 questions, then we can implement the right framework. And then from the right framework, then we can implement the next couple of strategies that we have to be able to maximize the benefits that we can get from lifestyle integration. First question is who? Who am I doing this with? That is one of the most important questions because this allows us to answer, okay, well, what am I going to do to keep myself accountable so that I consistently show up for myself? If you are doing this by yourself, that is perfectly fine. But then you need to be able to implement strategies that keep you accountable, that ensures that you're going to show up for yourself and invest in your health and your fitness, not only for yourself, but your family as well. But then if you want to take that step further, you can go and ask someone to join you on your health and fitness journey. Well, that can be someone as simple as your parents, it can be someone as your brothers or sisters, or it can be someone as your partner, your family, whatever it may be, so that you can consistently show up and support one another and keep each other accountable to invest in your health and fitness journey. Number 2 is that we need to ask ourselves, what am I going to focus on? What is the goal that I want to be able to achieve? Well, that can be something like resistance training, it could be strength training, it could be cardiovascular training, and the goals associated with that. That means that you have the next most important information that you need to be able to develop an effective program. The next question is, when am I going to do this? This is one of the most important questions that you can ask yourself because you know yourself better than anyone else. So the importance of this question is to understand, when are you going to invest in your health and fitness journey? What days are going to best suit you? What time is going to best suit you? Because at the end of the day, there's no point in someone that is not a morning person to be like, okay, I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock and I'm going to be at the gym at 5:30, gym from 5:30 to 6, and then go to work. If you're not a morning person, then that might not be the best strategy. And in saying that, you won't be able to develop the routine where you are able to stay consistent and continually invest and keep yourself accountable and invest in your health and fitness journey. Then you won't be able to go and integrate it into your lifestyle, and you won't be able to get those results throughout your busy schedule. Okay, so this is one of the most important questions: when are you going to do, and when does this program that you've developed and that you know will be an effective program will be able to best suit your current circumstances and situation? Number 4 is that we need to understand where. We need to understand where are we going to pursue our health and fitness journey and where are we going to invest in ourselves continually. because both at the gym, at home, or at the park, or wherever it may be, has its pros and its cons. Number 5 is that we need to understand how much time we have available to be able to invest within our health and fitness journey. How much time are we going to be able to invest throughout the time that we've dedicated ourselves throughout the week to consistently show up and invest in ourselves? Understanding this is very important because at the end of the day, we need to understand that not everyone's schedule is the exact same. Maybe someone has the flexibility and freedom to be able to invest 30 minutes a day, or there might be people that are a little bit more restricted but have certain days where they're able to invest a bit more time. So that can form the best foundation for us to be able to make an informed decision to develop that effective program. Number 6 is that we understand why. Why are we doing this? And we need to strengthen our reasoning why. And I mentioned this last week, is that we need to be able to develop a strong enough reason why to overcome almost any how. Making and formulating this foundation gives us the strength to be able to show up and invest and be able to ask ourselves this question: how can I do this? How can I make sure that I actually show up and invest in myself, rather than telling myself, oh, I don't have the time, I'm too tired, or whatever it may be. But actually knowing the reason why gives us the strength to be able to pursue almost any how. And by asking and giving ourselves the chance to ask ourselves, how do I do this? Gives us a chance to come up with a solution rather than saying, I cannot do this or I don't have the time. So these are the most important questions that we need to be able to ask ourselves and answer so that we can develop the best framework, the best structure that allows us to pursue our health and fitness journey within the constraints and circumstances that we have throughout the week and throughout our own lifestyle. Strategy number 2 is that we need to be able to apply the information that we got from strategy number 1. Through knowing that information, it formulated the best foundation for us to look at our time, look at who we are, how much time we have, and know exactly what to do with our programs. And then with that information, now we can devise the best program that suits our circumstances and our needs. So I'm going to share a bit of a story about a physiotherapist that came to me, and then she's like, okay, well, how do I integrate this into my lifestyle where it's really busy? I'm working 6 days a week and I don't want to take away from the quality of service that I'm giving to my clients, and I don't want to be burnt out. How do I do this? Well, we went through the exact same process. We went through the exact same process, and then we just used her time effectively. This is the next strategy. We need to be able to devise an effective program, a program that suits your needs, your circumstances, without taking away from you, your quality of life, or that pushes you to burnout. So what we did is that we looked at this specific questions and we capitalized on the fact that she is a morning person and that she needs to drive to get to work. So quite simply, what we did is we just made sure that she woke up a little bit earlier. She drove closer to work. She went to the gym just before work that was right around the corner. And then from there, she jumped straight into her day. Now, pretty much, this doesn't suit everyone because at the end of the day, this shows the importance of these questions. Because another client came to me and she said, okay, well, how do I do this? I've been trying to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I just cannot do it. Well, then I asked her, I was like, well, are you a morning person or are you an afternoon person? And then through a simple question of that, she was like, oh, well, I'm not really a morning person. I'm better in the afternoon. And I was like, okay, well, how long have you been trying to go to the gym in the mornings? And she's like, oh, quite a while. Then I was like, well, have you tried something else? And she said no. So that is this very simple question. And with that information, now we're able to devise a plan that'd be like, okay, well, this program in the morning suits this particular person a little bit more. But if you are not a morning person, go and look at afternoon person, maybe after work, whatever other strategies that there are. Once you know these questions, you are able to devise the best and most effective program suited to you. This leads us straight to number 3. We need to be able to break free from the mindset that the gym and every session and everything that we do in a health and fitness journey needs to be fun. The reason why I say so is because not every session, not every exercise is going to be fun. Because it takes time, it takes consistency. You need to consistently show up and invest in yourself and do these exercises that is harder than normal activity to be able to get the results that we want and that we desire to not only stay healthy, but to get the results that we want. So how do we do that? We need to have strategies to be able to implement throughout the sessions when we are doing things and how we are doing things to be able to enjoy our time a little bit more. But not just that, but also being able to integrate it into our lifestyle so that it doesn't feel like we're taking away something and sacrificing this to go to the gym. So this is very, very simple. We just need to be able to move past this concept that this is what exercise is, and that is what we need to do. We need to move past and break free from this concept. And once we break free from this concept, we're going to look at different strategies that can allow us to enjoy our time a bit more. So for instance, something that I personally do is that people think they need to go to the gym, listen to music, and go from there. Well, personally, I don't do that. What I personally like to do is that I like to listen to audiobooks when I'm doing weight training, because I feel like that gives me a little bit more satisfaction and engagement and enjoyment throughout my session. That means that I'm not actually taking away from the time that I would have spent listening to something that interests me, but more so I'm using it more effectively. Or something as very simple as like, who likes doing cardio? No one likes doing cardio. Well, what do I do to make that enjoyable? Okay. How can I do that? Me personally, I can listen to music, yes, but I don't necessarily want to do that all the time. So what do? I might listen to an audiobook, or I might go and watch a TV show or watch anime, or whilst I'm doing this, that doesn't feel like I'm sacrificing something that I'm interested in, but more so giving me a way to integrate it into the program so that I'm actually using my time a little bit more effectively. And now this brings all three concepts together. Now that we understand that we have to answer these questions, once we know those questions, it formulates and gives us the foundation to be able to create the right framework. And that allows us to create a effective program that suits within that circumstances throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout responsibilities. But we need to also move past and break through the mindset that it needs to be fun, and really realize that it's the things that we can do alongside it to allow us to get better engagement, better enjoyment out of it. But the session itself might not necessarily be fun. But through a creative mindset, through an intuitive approach, we are able to integrate it within our lifestyle without actually taking away or sacrificing any part of our life. So if you guys like this video about lifestyle integration, down below is a link to a free guide that I've created for you guys about the top 10 secrets that I have for lifestyle integration that can help you break free from this mindset, and that can give you guys the best strategies to implement your health and fitness journey and exercises and routine into your lifestyle. But if you want to commit a little bit more and you want to go and become driven, there is a free webinar that I have on the 12th of March that you guys can attend that goes through specific strategies and specific frameworks that can help you to kickstart your health and fitness journey in the best way possible.